everyone, and welcome back. So you just saw our really awesome hype video for the DCS. It's coming up in next weekend already on the 10th. There's less than 30 spots available. Like, this thing is filling up quick. Don't forget, guys, we're giving away a Stay Classy, our Hail Sidra Field Center, number 33 out of 100, to a Cyber Dragon player if they can make top cut, and if multiple make top cut, whoever gets further into top cut will walk away with that Field Center on us here at Team Set Pass. In addition to the cash prizing, the exclusive play mat. Did we mention too, if you aren't doing too good and you want to drop out by round 3, we're going to host a win a mat tournament during that stream as well, because, well, we're going to be live streaming it. It's going to be a lot of fun. We want to give people and players that in real life feel once again, and to further try and do that, we created a big voice chat room in Discord where between rounds, when you finish your game, things like that, you can come to this room and talk almost as you would if we were at a real life event. We understand that everyone wants these types of interaction, and that's what we miss. That's why we pay and we go to play in real life. It's not to get top 8 and get that fancy little deck box. It's because the interaction you get with players. So we're hoping that doing the win-a-mat and making this Discord chat room really helps bring the community together and get those experiences as much as we can. So make sure you check out the links. Come join the Dragon Rider group, and then you can come check out the event page as well. Both links down in the description below. It's going to be a lot of fun. But without further ado, guys, let's get into Cyber Dragon combos. Going first, going second, and some good to know tips and tricks, if you will. A lot of these may be kind of basic, and you might say, oh, I knew already almost all that. And some of you are going to know, well, basically all of this. We're going to start with some pretty common things that literally anyone should know, and go a little bit further into, stuff that you probably wouldn't have thought of but works and that you can do. So there's going to be timestamps down below in the description if you want to skip to the going second or the tips, or if you're coming back to the video and you want the going first, there will be that too. So let's jump on into some going first combos. The first one, is it really a combo, if you will? But if you open your core or your emergency, really any way to put 2 monsters on board, what can you do with 2 monsters? Well, obviously in this case you would normal core and search, say, your rev system, linking off your core for your all mirage, rev system, bring your core back, and then you're just going to link 2 because you got 2 monsters on board. Full Orcus combo. Not quite, but Predaplant Verde Anaconda, and then you know the drill, sending your Red Eyes Fusion, and then your materials, and bringing out our favorite Cyber Dragon, non-Cyber Dragon, Galaxy Soldier excluded, Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. So again, that's as basic as it's going to get. 2 monsters is Verde, everybody knows that. So let's try and get more into Cyber Dragon related. What do you do if you say, I'll just grab one extender here, core extender. So extender can be emergency, repair plant, herds, soldier. To a degree, you could get into other cards depending on the rest of your hand too. Your instant fusions, your rev systems, your machine dupes, all of those. And we'll cover some of that here, but we're not going to go over like the instant fusions and all them, because them are completely hand dependent. These are just combos you should know. And for this one, I'm going to break a lot of these down like this. Any hand where you can summon 3 monsters, 2 of which are level 5s, can do this. I find that the easiest way to learn the combos. Like, what does the hand actually have? Like, oh, all these combos need core. No, they don't all need core. They all need 3 monsters, 2 level 5s. Core searches your extender, and soldier. That's 2 monsters that are level 5s. Core is the 3rd monster. So 3 monsters, 2 level 5s gets you to this point. So this is your hand. You summon your core, you search your corresponding extender. We have Galaxy Soldier, so we search our emergency. Emergency then to search out your Cyber Dragon Hertz. You guys all know the drill here. Soldier and Hertz effects, getting you your Cyber Dragon and your other Galaxy Soldier. And then at that point, discarding to summon the other Galaxy Soldier. I guess we could put them up here, since our monster zones should all be in a line. Then you're going to overlay your soldiers into your Nova. You have a Cyber Dragon in the graveyard. You can detach one to bring back Cyber Dragon. Now, technically right here they could Nibiru you. You summon 2 soldier, core, Cyber Dragon, Nova, that is 5. But Nova will float, so you're not, you know, in a bad spot per se. But otherwise you go into your Infinity, 2 monsters into your Verde Anaconda, and then from here, obviously, we're going to do the good old Red Eyes Fusion, so keep everything kind of on screen for you. Sending your Red Eyes Fusion and your materials. Getting your Dragoon. If you're worried about Mega Fleet, personally, especially in a big tournament, maybe locals, it's a good idea to do it. In a big tournament, I wouldn't be too worried about it, unless you just don't want the damage. That's another thing to consider. But just absorb your Verde, and now you can't get Mega Fleeted, so Infinity Dragoon off of your core extender, or to be more generic, your hands once again, that can summon 3 monsters, 2 of which are level 5s. Another way to go about that, obviously, without doing like the same combo, you know, like Hers Dupe, that's a hand that's going to get you 3 monsters, because 1, 2, 3, 2 level 5s, so it'd be summon your Hers, Machine Dupe, summoning your 2 Cyber Dragons. Now in this case you would have to go into an All Mirage. You could use the effect now if you want. Personally I wouldn't right now because there's really no point to it. I would then overlay into my Nova, detaching 1. Now you bring back your Hertz, and I'll show you why here in a second. Overlay into your Infinity. Now you use those 2 to go into your Verde. And if you weren't doing a going first board, like if you're going second here, still don't use Hertz, because you can like summon your Rampage off your Verde and mill a Hertz and a core, or Hertz and a Naxter, and then get that core or Naxter back to your hand, which is just better economy. But here, since we're going first and we're going for Dragoon, on Verde summon, Hers went to the graveyard. Now grab 1 out of your graveyard, and when I say grab 1 out of your graveyard, because now you still have 1 in your deck, which means that if you happen to draw into Machine Dupe, it's not 100% dead. You can still summon a Cyber Dragon out of the out of your deck, because you do have the 1, and you have Repair Plant, which can actually put another 1 back, so you could potentially resolve Dupe and summon 2, depending on what order you draw your cards in. But now we have our Verde, so we're going to do Dragoon things and make Dragoon that way. Moving forward, we're going to keep on going right through this. Like I said, hoping to keep this video like half hour-ish. You guys voted to do 1 long video, but a good amount of you wanted split 3 separate ones with going first, going second variants, and I decided, I mean it wasn't an option, but I decided to do first and second and then variants on the side. So continuing to move forward, both of those again, 3 monsters, 2 level 5s. Remember that, 3 monsters, 2 level 5s. Here we're gonna go a little bit further. This would be 3 monsters, 2 level 5s, and you open like your overflow, or you open an extra card, or you know, you open your core that can search that card. So for this one, the example, we're just gonna show core and dupe. Again, this would either be a 3-card combo, or you need these 2 cards. Emergency would also fill in the void, because you need the 3 monsters. We got that. 2 level 5s. We got that. But you need the searcher, or you need to open the other cards. So, running out of breath here already. Might have to pause and go get a water. In this instance, we got a couple to show you here. 1 with Dragoon and 1 without. Summoning your core. Machine Dupe on your core. Summoning your 2 Cyber Dragons. Core, by the way, searching your overflow, because it's kind of a good card. And then you're just going to go into your All Mirage, Nova, detaching 1, summon a Cyber Dragon, since we have a Cyber Dragon in a graveyard. And by the way, I'm just going to throw this out here now, and not in the tip section. Nova can detach Cyber Dragon and summon that same copy as long as you have another Cyber Dragon in the graveyard. If you don't have Cyber Dragon in the graveyard, you cannot use Nova's effect, because at the time you activate it, before detaching, because you detach when you activate, at the time of activation, you must be able to fully resolve it. And if you don't have one in the graveyard, you cannot fully resolve it despite detaching, then targeting, you still need to be able to resolve it before you even detach. As soon as you activate it, it has to be able to resolve. So as long as there's any Cyber Dragon in the graveyard, you can detach one, then target, which means you can summon the one that you detached, but you must have the one there. That's our first tip that we're just going to get out of the way right away in case someone doesn't stick around to that point. But in that instance, we would make our Infinity Dragoon and have our overflow. Another thing that you can do, throwing our cards all around. It was just core, don't worry. The dupe's okay. The dupe's fine. A little more pricey. So, core dupe. Other things you can do with your machine dupe and your core. If you don't want to play Dragoon, you don't play Dragoon. That's fine. Another going first board, like say dedicated going second, OTK. They force you to go first. You have core dupe. Okay. And especially if you have a hand trap, that's actually still pretty good because you still summon your core. And again, you're going to search out your overflow. Machine dupe on your core, summoning our 2 Cyber Dragons. Then you're going to link off once again for All Mirage, overlaying into our Nova, detaching Cyber Dragon to reborn a Cyber Dragon, overlay Infinity, All Mirage and Cyber Dragon, then into our Verde Anaconda. And this time Anaconda is actually going to send our Overload Fusion because we're playing a dedicated, going second OTK build, banishing your core and your Cyber Dragon to summon our Rampage. And then at this point, Rampage can actually mill 2 more, so you would actually, in this instance, depending on your build, like you could send a Fear and Hurts, which would be the best if you are playing Fear to send it. Otherwise, you send hers and a core, and you're not going to use hers as effect to get your core. You use it to actually add to your hand Cyber Dragon. So now you have Infinity, Rampage. You can always absorb your Verde here, but you got your Negate and Destroy, potentially a hand trap because you still have 3 more cards in your hand, mind you. And you have your overflow, which can use from hand as well. So you have a pop 3, Omni Negate, and a hand trap, and that's actually kind of good, kind of good. So just time your disruption well. If you're wondering when to use your disruption, check out our How to Beat series where we're slowly, I need to get you guys up another video. Shed Doll Dogmatica will be the next one that should be up relatively soon. We're a little bit behind, had a lot going on and we've been busy, but that video should be up soon and we'll cover that. Moving on forward to continue this, core dupe. Another thing that you can do with core dupe if you don't want to go with that route, although I think the Dragoon with the pop or the pop 3 core is probably the better route. But say you have core, you can summon your core and search your rev system, machine dupe on your core, summoning your 2 Cyber Dragons. So at this point, we making sure I do this on the right order, you actually can go into your here 2 main deck monsters since you search your rev system, go and do like an IP Masquerena, then use your rev system to bring back the level 5 Cyber Dragon, must be the level 5, overlay into your Nova, detaching to bring it back, and then make your Infinity. Once again, I don't think anyone's playing Mega Fleet unless you're at like locals where maybe they would, but otherwise then on your turn you can use your IP and your Cyber Dragon and go into say like a Nightmare Unicorn and spin a card. Like I said, pop 3 is a little bit better than that, but it's another option if you want to go that route. This is what we're here to do today, is just to show you guys the different options. One more we're actually going to show you. Core dupe does a lot. Who would have ever thought that, right? Like, core dupe, kind of good. So one more that we'll do here with core and dupe. We're going to core dupe, summon your core. Once again, we're going to search overload. I'm going to say that probably 30 times in this video. Searching your overflow. We'll save that for later. Machine dupe on your core. So if you guys remember, all of these combos with core dupe, you need to be able to summon 3 monsters, 2 level 5s, and either open one of these other cards, or it's got to be core so you can search it, but you don't have to have core dupe. Like Naxter, Hearst, Soldier, Overflow does these combos. It's 4 cards, but it does these combos. Like, that's where we're going with that and why we keep mentioning it. We said we used our dupe on our core, summon our 2 cyber dragons. So now you can go into your relinquished. I don't even have that card on the table to show you guys in this video. Your Salamangreat Almirage, doing your Nova things, Nova, detach, summon, Infinity. Now at this point this would be much more beneficial, say you're playing Psyframe Gear Gamma and you opened it, but Almirage and Cyber Dragon to go into your Lambda to make your Gamma live in hand, and you also have your Overflow, so you would have the Gamma negate and destroy, the Infinity negate and destroy, and the multi-pop from your Overflow. That's the last core dupe combo that we're going to show you guys here today. And moving on forward, what if you open even better, even crazier? It's roughly 9% of the time this will happen, unless you're playing cards like Pot of Prosperity, different things like that that can actually, even Upstart Goblin slightly changes these odds. But for the most part, like core dupe extender, 40 cards if you're playing the normal amount of extenders, like the key ones, your repair plant, your machine dupes, your galaxy soldiers, your emergencies, your repair plants, because you can actually open like core dupe and do it. So these combos, you need to be able to summon 5 monsters, 2 level 5s. The ones with Pleiades, you obviously need 4 level 5s, 2 rank 5s. So without further ado, core, machine dupe, extender, the Cyber Dragon hands, the Dream hands, the Goal hands. What can you do with it though? Is it really worth it? Like, do you want to just, okay, here's my hand, this is my board. Like, do you want to commit to it? Well, we have a few options that you can do. Some of them, no, personally I wouldn't. I'd keep my extender, go core dupe, search Overflow, make Dragoon, multi-pop, multi-negate. This, Cyber Orcus was tier 1 for a good reason, and this made the Orcus combo plus Overflow and Infinity, and which at the time Orcus combo wasn't much better, if at all, than Dragoon. The difference was Orcus combo was so recursive and so grindy, whereas Dragoon, if they out it, it's outed. But so here, core dupe, repair plant, we're just going to kind of generalize these, and I'll show you the different routes as we do it, well, not necessarily one time, because we'll do it a few different ways. But so you're going to summon your core, we have repair plant, so we're going to search emergency. Then, first thing I would use emergency, getting our hurts. Link off. I know this could get actually really risky, so maybe you don't do it. I guess at this point, especially if you're playing Dragoon, do your dupe, and if they ash it, then they ash it, and I mean, you still have Infinity Dragoon anyway, because if you link into Almirage and then you use your repair plant and they ash that repair plant, you're in a really bad spot. So I mean, kind of up to you which order you want to go. A lot of people won't ash the repair, they would like wait for the Galaxy Soldier and ash it. And if you do that route, then when Nova, just make sure Nova revives your hers or your core, and then you dupe them after your Nova is on board. So for this purpose, we'll probably go the smarter route and summon them right away, because like I said, if it gets negated, you still have what you need in your hand anyway. 16 minutes, and it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a long video, guys, so stick with me, bear with me, use those timestamps down below. We're almost done with the going first part though, so we're actually not doing too bad on time, because going second is gonna be a lot faster. So here we have our core and our Cyber Dragons. We're gonna go ahead quickly, just pretty much doing the same things we were doing before here. We're gonna speed through it. It's our Cyber Dragon combo, everything we already showed you here to the point of Verde Anaconda. Before we use our Verde now, we're going to use our repair plant, and if you notice, well, actually no, we don't, we only got 2, so never mind on that part. I was going to say, if you use both repair plant effects, which there's going to be times and hands where you can do it, I like to put a Cyber Dragon back and keep my machine dupes live. So tip number 2 that we're gonna not cover later because we're covering now, keep an eye on your Cyber Dragons in grave, because say if you have 3 engraved, you might as well use both effects and put one back to keep your machine dupes alive. But here we're going to grab our Galaxy Soldier, and then using our Hers and Galaxy Soldier, summon, and I'd actually grab the one out of the graveyard for that pretty much exact reason that we just said with the repair plant. You want to, keep your machine dupes alive in deck. We don't want to just play inherent bricks in the deck. If you have, say, a driver in your hand, obviously you would grab your core back and then pitch the driver for Soldier, things like that. But in this instance, we're going to then pitch our Cyber Dragon, summon our other Galaxy Soldier, and then here, there's a few different things you could do. For this one, we're going to go into our Pleiades, and now you would use your Verde, sending your Red Eyes materials to make your Dragoon, and that would be your board. A couple different things that you could do. Obviously, instead of your Verde, you could go, not directly, or how would that work? You would, actually we'll have to just cover it because I don't want to stutter like this and then not be clear on the route we're going for it, but it will work. Don't worry, I promise. Putting our Dragoon stuff back because Dragoon is not used in this combo. So, Core Dupe Extender once again. We're going to keep all that here. Core Dupe Extender. This time we have Emergency. Okay, so we're going to summon Core. Since we have Emergency, we're going to search out Repair Plant. We can then use Emergency, potentially bait out a hand trap. Searching our Hurts. Machine Dupe. Summoning 2 Cyber Dragons. We still have our Repair Plant, right? Okay. Core and Cyber Dragon. Once again into our IP Mask Arena. This is where we're going to have a few different routes that we can do. So we have Cyber Dragon still. Repair Plant now. Getting Galaxy Soldier. Galaxy Soldier and Hers. Summon our Soldier. Drop your Galaxy Soldier on the floor. Cheat and look through your deck when you go to grab it. Just kidding, this isn't remote duels. Nobody cheats. It's okay, no one cheats. Discarding your Cyber Dragon, summoning our Galaxy Soldier. Now we're going to go into our Nova, detach Galaxy Soldier, special summon, level 5, pretty key and important for this specific example. Infinity, now you can go into your Pleiades that way. And then on your opponent's turn, so you can bounce with your Pleiades, negate and destroy with Infinity, and if you need another disruption, you can use your IP and your Pleiades and go into Nightmare Unicorn and spin a second card. Additionally, if you say you didn't want to go into Pleiades and you open Gamma, or like if you're playing Gamma and you don't open Gamma, go into your Pleiades. If you're playing Gamma and you do open it, instead of going into Pleiades, go into your Lambda, and then when you use your Gamma, you summon your Gamma and your Driver. Use your Driver and your IP to go into, your Nightmare Unicorn, because it puts Driver in the graveyard, so then your other Gammas are not dead. Additionally, especially in this example, which didn't plan on putting it quite yet, but we were going to mention it, in this example, you could actually use your IP, your Gamma, your Driver, and one of your opponent's monsters, and go into your Underworld Goddess. So that would be a really, really good play. You have your Pleiades, you have your Infinity, you get to link away one of their cards, and then you even have the disruption from your Goddess, so not a bad option there. Other things you can do, if say you went for IP Masquerena, when you're at the point like this, when you have your Infinity, your multiple materials, what's a link for that has negates? Well, you could pretty easily go into your Appaloosa. So now you have 3 negates and 4 negates. Pretty good, pretty strong. Like Dragon Link, you're probably gonna be in a good position there. If you got, you're gonna pretty much force the battle phase. So if you actually had your Overflow backing this up too, you're probably winning that game, because they're not just gonna be able to, 1 negate out of it. Now, okay, now I'm gonna attack over it. But even if you do that, you force the battle phase early, and you guarantee that you survive. And as long as they don't just put up, 1,000 negates, which they don't really do. They kind of put up like 2 or 3 really strong disruptions, but they set it up where they can do it every single turn after turn after turn until you have nothing left. And it's actually pretty impressive. Dragon Link is a crazy, crazy strong deck. What other going first ones did I want to show you guys? I think that's about it. The only other one that we are going to cover would be, bear with me while we put stuff back. If any part of this video ends up seeming a little bit funny or off, it's probably because I edited stuff out to speed it up or to sped it up and cut off a few different things. But, so final going first combo. Core, dupe, extender. Summon your core, search out your corresponding extender. We have hers, so we search repair plan. Dupe on our core, summoning 2 Cyber Dragons. Now we're going to link first. Yep. I guess this doesn't necessarily matter. We're going to link 2 into your IP. Wouldn't really matter however we do it this way. You could have, you'll see later, you could have just waited and go into your Verde here and then your IP down here. But repair plan, since we already committed to doing it this way. Galaxy Soldier, discarding our hers. And then obviously you're going to do Soldier hers, get your cards back, discard your other Cyber Dragon, get your Galaxy Soldier. Then going into our Nova, detaching to bring back Cyber Dragon, and Infinity. Always remember too, like, you can say you have your Almirage if you're playing pure, no Dragoon, bring back your hers in attack position, and Infinity attach it, and then you can detach hers on your opponent's turn and get like core back to your hand. You can get Cyber Dragon, you can just plus off of it. For this example, that's tip number 3 by the way. For this example, we're going to go into Verde. This video is going to be nice and short because I'm not going to have a tip section by the end of it. And now Verde, sending your Red Eyes materials and making your Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. So you have Infinity, Dragoon, IP, and Verde. Guess what? Link 2, Link 2. What does that do on your opponent's turn? Because obviously you can't summon more this turn. But on your opponent's turn, if you saw our last deck profile, you saw this. You can actually go into an Avermax, and it can't be targeted, can't be destroyed. They have to attack it, gains the attack, and you got 2 Omni Negates backing it up. You're in a good position. Or Unchained Abomination. Guess what? Negate and destroy, negate and destroy. When a card's destroyed, you get to pop a card. Like, you just start completely blowing up their field. 3k beater during the end phase, pop a card. Like, it's pretty good, and it won't be able to be destroyed by card effects because you made it with IP Masquerena. So really, really strong. Keep in mind, if they say activate a normal spell, you negate and destroy it, technically it never hit the field, so it will not trigger. If they used effect of a spell or trap that's already face up, a continuous one, or a monster effect after it's summoned, then it will trigger it. But remember, like, when you activate a normal spell, if it's negated and destroyed, it's never technically on the field. It's in like a limbo, if you will. So do keep that bit in mind. And with that, that's all I have, you guys. All I have for you guys going first. That's all. You know, just that little bit, 25 minutes worth of talking. Okay, well, we just got our little water break, and now we're back to cover going second. There's not a whole lot we're going to do here, because, I mean, realistically, breaking boards, I can't show you combos to break boards. That's going to depend on what deck are you going against, what's their board look like, and what's in your hand. So I can't show you that, unfortunately. We can talk about it if you want to PM me, if you want to comment down below, if you want to ask in the Cyber Dragon group, things like that. Watch the How to Beat videos. That's a really good place to start. But what I can show you is, you know, the basic OTKs, the basic combos we have for going second. So first one, we're just going to go ahead and grab one of our baby Cyber Dragons and our machine dupe. So remember, what does this mean, guys? This means any hand that summons 3 monsters, 2 of which are level 5s, can do this. It does not need dupe, as long as you have that hand. So essentially, core extender also makes the same hand. This could be emergency, this could be core. So it could have core soldier, same thing, same difference. Summon your soldier, summon your hers, machine dupe on your hers. Summoning our 2 Cyber Dragons out, then linking off into our Almirage. Do not use hers as effect. Link into our Cyber Dragon Nova. Detach Nova to bring back Cyber Dragon. Go into your Infinity. Then we go into our Verde Anaconda. And now Verde sending Overload Fusion to summon Rampage. Rampage, now you're going to mill hers and core. Now you use your hers effect, get your core back to your hand for a follow-up, just in case you don't OTK. But otherwise, you mill 2, so that's 63, 68, plus another 25, so that's 9,300. You can absorb an attack position monster. Quick, easy 2-card combo, which means you can have 3 to 4 cards to stop or break your opponent's board. Just like I said, this is something that every Cyber Dragon player needs to know. These are going to be pretty basic as far as going second. Like, there's not much to it. Like, we don't have a lot of play lines to go second. And like I said, I can't show you how to break a board, but I can show you certain things that you should know how to do if the opportunity presents itself. Okay, for this one we're going to say, what if you happen to open the better one? You open core and dupe. Well, you could do that same thing. You can do that same combo. Like, that's easy. That's obvious. You can even actually, put an extra Cyber Dragon on top of it. So instead of 93, you could put out, 11-4. So you put out a little more damage. Let's say you open the good baby though, core and dupe. So what can you do with core and dupe? You can do that same combo we just showed you. There's actually 2 other things that I want to point out that you can do if you want. So summon your core, searching your rev system. Machine dupe on your core to summon out 2 Cyber Dragons. And here, you're going to go and actually link away into our Cyber Dragon Seeger. Rev system back, level 5, Cyber Dragon. If, say, you go for Verde here to bring out your Rampage and then, boost your Rampage attack for 12,000 damage, it doesn't matter what you revive. Otherwise, you can actually go into your Nova, detach Cyber Dragon, bring back a Cyber Dragon, and now you can attack your opponent. This is the basic one. It's the minimum one. This is why people say maybe you shouldn't play Upstart Goblin. Seeger boosts your Nova, boosts your Cyber Dragon. What one you want to boost? Say your Nova. So now he has 4,200. You can attack a defense position monster and not deal any damage. Tip number 4. When he boosts a monster, he deals no damage. I see so many people confused about this and they think the boosted monster doesn't deal damage. This card does not deal damage. So attack, clear a monster, get rid of it, get it off the field, attack a defense position. Again, you're not going to deal damage. Cyber Dragon then attack 2,100. Nova attack, it's got 4,200, remember. Damage step, you can activate Nova, banish Cyber Dragon, goes up to 63. 63 and 21 is 8,400 damage. So that is one route that you can go. Or like I said, if you went into your Verde instead of your Nova and then make a Rampage and pop off that way. Well, what if you happen to open, core dupe with an extender? Well, then you'd pretty much do the 2 things that we just showed you already, except instead of Nova, you could have your Infinity, and you would have been able to make a Verde 2, which means you would have Infinity, Seeger, and our lovely Rampage Dragon, which, pretty darn good. So core dupe extender not only puts up good boards going first, really, really strong OTKs going second, which it's a 3-card combo, it better be good. Other things that you could do, you could actually use Cyber Load Fusion, and you would have 2 Cyber Dragons on field, your Infinity, your Seeger, and you could go attacking a couple times and then actually go into a Cyber Twin. Additionally, how we just showed you with the Nova play, you banish, if you had the extra extender, you'd search out Cyber Load Fusion off your core search. So then you would attack and you're at 8,400, right? Well, this is banished now from your Nova. Play your Cyber Load Fusion, Seeger, Cyber Dragon, bring out your Cyber Twin, and attack for another 5,600 on top of the 84 already for a grand total of 14,000 damage. That's, pretty much it. I'm sure there's other things you can do going second, but these are really the combos that every Cyber Dragon player should know going second. I don't focus too much on OTKs, honestly. I guess we left out the easy one, 2 Cyber Dragons, Power Bond. Okay. But these are just plays that you should know going seconds. What are some interesting tips and tricks maybe that you should have? Let's say Cyber Dragon Dry is in your graveyard along with, another Cyber Dragon, because we're going to go into our Rampage. Well, you would need a Cyber Dragon on field, obviously Seeger. You summon Dry, you have another monster, you link into Seeger. Okay, easy enough, you have a Cyber Dragon on field now. This is tip 5, by the way. Overload Fusion, sending, say, your Cyber Dragons, your Dry and your Cyber Dragon, banish them to summon your Rampage. Now you actually have 2 effects activating at this time. Rampage effect to pop 2 spell and traps on the field, and Dry actually can affect to protect the Seeger from destruction, but that doesn't matter. That's not what we're here for. The Dry effect actually chain blocks for your Rampage. So say, even if they have like a Solemn Strike, they can't Solemn Strike the effect because you chain block it. They would have to hit your Dry, which you don't care about. You're going to pop their back row. Then you can mill 2 cards and continue to do whatever you wish to do at that point. So that is another tip that we do want to talk with you guys. What if, say, we have, you got your 2 Cyber Dragons. This is another little play that you should know how to do if you're going to go for it. You have your Cyber Dragon Nova, you have your Infinity. Infinity, we'll just say, absorbs your opponent's monster, okay? So you have it this way. Now you go to your battle phase, you attack. Okay, you don't quite win, your board's not very good, it's just, it's Infinity, no other disruptions, or Infinity, another monster, but no disruption. This is your only disruption. Infinity with a big stack of cards. Main phase 2, you can actually go Gaia, and as you're going to assume now, Zeus. So why would I want Zeus over the Infinity Negate and Destroy? Yes, that's Negate and Destroy sometimes is going to be better. You're not always going to want to go for Zeus, but not once per turn, not once per chain, and that's a whole lot of materials. Like, you got 3 times, so I mean, obviously, like, an Imperm could really hurt. Imperm hurts Infinity too, though. Like, so keeping that in mind, that is a Zeus play if you wish. We have the extra deck space. Like, it's not hard to run the extra card. I don't think our extra deck's that tight overall. So, other tips that we have. Limburg, this one's an old one, and Cyber Dragon. I've seen a lot of confusion on this one too. So, how this works, say you have Infinity in the graveyard. Normal summon Naxxter, target Infinity. Your opponent chains Impermanence, Widow Anchor, a card that's on field negate. Or actually if skill drains on the field too. I mean, skill drain will keep your Infinity negated, but so anyway, summon your core Impermanence, we'll say. That's the most meta relevant one. Summoning your core, they use Impermanence. You can chain Limburg from your graveyard to summon, not in defense position because Link monsters can't go in defense position. And now you're not locked into machines until Naxxter resolves summoning the Infinity, which would happen now. So now you're locked into machines, but you have the Limburg and the Infinity already. A good thing to keep in mind and just to note. Cyber Dragon Core, if you summon your core and they Solemn Judgment it, or they do anything that negates the summon, you can use the graveyard effect because you never activated the search effect if it was never summoned, so you can use the graveyard effect. And while we talk about Solemns, if they Judgment your Nova, if they Nibiru your Nova, if they Solemn Strike your Nova, it triggers the float effect. Possession includes extra deck, so don't let your opponent say that that's not true. That is 100% true. If Mega Zaborg sends it from the extra deck to the graveyard, that triggers it too. Maximus, your opponent has, activates Dogmatic Maximus, you send your Nova, that triggers it because Maximus is the card doing it. So don't let your opponent get those by you. Cyber Dragon Nova float effect pretty strong. I don't have the hand traps out in front of me. If you're playing Nibiru and Gamma, they work pretty good together. Like, okay, I'm gonna Nibiru you. Oh, you're gonna negate it. Gamma. Now I summon my Gamma, my driver. But the more importantly, Nibiru tributes them right away. 0 defense. They don't really make the token any bigger. Summon your Nibiru, give them the defense token, yada yada yada. Driver's in the graveyard though, so that's good. Additionally, if say you have Lancia and Gamma, you can Lancia at any point or whatever, before or after. Gamma them. Now, they can't get banished because neither player can banish cards, which means your Gamma and your driver stay on field. So that means on your turn, you can actually use them for like link material, synchro material, whatever. And again, driver goes to the graveyard. Cyberload Fusion, Overflow. So, if you have your setup for your Overflow and you also are able to set your Cyberload Fusion, I can't find mine, so we have a really, really red Cyberload Fusion. and you have your setup. You can, on your opponent's turn, overflow, banish a couple cards, pop their monsters, ideally, because then in a new chain, because Cyberload Fusion must be chain link 1 for Rampage to not miss timing. Rampage can miss timing. But anyway, then, okay, your opponent can't do much. They set 2 more cards and they go end phase. End phase, use your Cyberload Fusion, summon your Rampage, pop their back row, and now they have nothing. So it's just a good way that those 2 cards work together to just clear out your board. Other things that we wanted to say. We were talking about Nova's floating effect. So let's say they Nibiru you on your Nova, okay? Well, your Nova can float into Makaba, which is a great target, by the way, because it's a negate. But additionally, you can then link off the token for a Link Spider, and now you have 2 monsters, so you know where we're going with that. You're going to go into Verde, and then bring out your Dragoon, and Dragoon, pop that Nibiru, you just burn them for 3k, and have Dragoon. So you still get a negate out of it, and you even burn your opponent for almost half their life points. Just about done here, guys, I think. One more thing that we're going to show you guys. Tip number 35 for the video. Slight exaggeration, by the way. So Gizmek Orochi this is something that hasn't been played in a long time, for a decent reason, because banishing a bunch from your deck. But a fun little play you can do, actually, it's a quick effect. So your opponent goes like, okay, end phase, or even if you want to do it before they get to that point, you can use Orochi. Okay, summon your Orochi. Now on your turn, you summon any Cyber Dragon. You can then contact fuse those off for a Fortress Dragon, and then you can use Orochi's effect again. This is why being a quick effect matters, because it's once per turn. You use it on their turn. Now your turn, Orochi. That's 2 level 8s, which means we can go into our Dingirsu. So just a quick way to cheat out Dingirsu, basically off of the 1 card, as long as you have any Cyber Dragon. But banishing 16 is going to hurt, guys. That's why it doesn't see a ton of play, but if you're playing like a sped up OTK power bond build, might not be a bad idea. Just saying, especially because you deck thin before you actually get to your first turn. So are you going to banish something that really matters in the end? Maybe, but it's probably a risk I would take. Thank you guys for watching. We're closer to the 45-minute mark than the 30, I believe. Like I said, I'm going to end up cutting some of this out. I'm not sure what yet or where we're going to end up. But thank you for sticking it out. Thank you for watching. Whether you watch the whole thing or click through it, either way, I understand both. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Thank you for watching, and take care until next time, guys.